The company I'm talking about is Enagic. It's a Japanese company. It's founded in 1974. And they produce a thing called Kangen water. Okay. Now, this technology has been in research since the late 1800s, and the Japanese perfected it in 1965, where they actually started using it in their hospitals. Doctors in Japan prescribe this water if people have ailments. Oh, you have diabetes, here's a gallon, drink a gallon a day of this water, and so on and so forth. Now, as a disclaimer, this is not a cure. This water does not cure, diagnose, or do anything along those sorts here. But I'm just saying, in Japan, doctors do prescribe this water. On that being said, this is the only medical grade ionizer that's available to the public in the world. So talk about a product as a marketer, no competition, high payout, and again, it crosses the boundary from a want to a need. So it's a marketer's dream. What I'm going to share with you is some of the properties of this water and the different waters that this machine produces. And I'm going to start with the drinking water. Now, off the bat, we should know how important water is to us. If you were to guess, what percentage of our body is made up of water? Most people will say between 60 and 75%. Okay, the actual number is between 70 and 75% of our body. So if you stand, right now you can't see my legs, but pretty much up to here is all water. And a lot of people, like myself, we pay so much attention to the food we eat, the supplements we take, but we're drinking just water because water is water. That was my attitude before I learned about this product as well. So what I'm going to share are the three distinctive properties of this water on the drinking side. Now, the machine does make 5 different types of water, and I'll share with you that a little later on. But right now, what I'm going to really focus on is the Kangen water. So the 3 properties are it's antioxidant, alkalizing, and is structured or restructured in a way where it's actually 5 times more absorbable than regular water. Whether it's spring, tap, bottled, it doesn't matter. Okay? So the first property, and I probably will say the most critical, is this antioxidant potential. So what I have here, I have different liquids or different waters. So here we have Aquafina, which happens to be the #1 water brand in the world. We're going to put that here. Here we have some carbonated water. Okay, it represents all carbonated waters. Here, 7-Up, which again is a representation of pop in general. A little bit more. Now we here have Gatorade, which is enhanced water. There we go. And then, of course, our Kangen water, which Kangen is just a Japanese word that means back to origin. Okay? Now, going back to Japan, I don't know, because these systems, again, are made in Japan. And again, it's used in their hospitals. I think right now over 600 hospitals in Japan actually use these systems as a way of treatment, whether it's topical or drinking. And if you look at the United Nations, Japan ranks #1 when it comes to health and wellness. So if it's good enough for Japanese hospitals, technically it should be good enough for any hospital in the world. Okay, so let's look at the first property. Okay, the first property of this water is its antioxidant potential. Now, if you don't know what oxidation is, or antioxidants, because everybody knows the word antioxidant, but what an antioxidant or oxidation is rusting. So oxidation is the same as rusting or aging, breaking down our tissues. So that's what oxidation is. So what an antioxidant does, it actually slows down the aging process, or quote unquote the rusting process in our bodies. So what I have over here is an ORP meter. Okay, I don't know if you can, I hope you can see this clearly. And this meter, the ORP stands for oxidation reduction potential, or the potential to reduce oxidation. Okay, so if right now it's reading in the positives, because if there's no symbol, it's in the positives, and of course air is oxidizing, hence the term oxidation. What we're going to do is we're going to put this probe in all these different liquids and see if they're oxidizing us or antioxidizing us. And how you would know if it's an antioxidant, and I apologize for this bird's nest over here, but what am I going to do? If there's a negative in charge of it, then it'll be antioxidant. So let's have a look. Aquafina. Okay. What's it at? 340 range. Okay. Oxidizing, aiding rusting, aiding aging. So the more you drink, you're actually promoting premature aging in your body. Okay. Now let's look at Nestle here, or the carbonated water. Oh, it's jumped up dramatically into the 380 range. So from 340 to 380. Now let's have a look at, oh yeah, it's almost in the 400 range. Let me give it a little swirl at 395. So of course, regular water, carbonated water with sugar. That's what pop really is. Okay. Let's have a look at the enhanced waters. Okay. Not much difference than pop, chock full of sugar, or alternative sweeteners, which I believe are actually worse than sugar. Okay. And now let's have a look at Kangen water. And what's happening? Boom. Right away, it's dropping. It's at -5, 470, 480, 490, and keeps on dropping. That's important because now it's adding all those antioxidants into our body that we need to slow down the aging process, to help oxidative stress, even inflammation. It's all due to free radical damage in our body. Like right now, we're almost at -600. Okay? Now, at this level, I'm going to share with you, blueberries are extremely antioxidant. They're considered a superfood. At the water in the -600 range, I would need 5 pounds of blueberries, okay, to get the equivalent of 1 glass of this water. Now, I love blueberries. I can't eat 5 pounds in a week, let alone in a setting. Okay, I become a blueberry. But that's to show how powerful this water is. Okay, so I hope you got that. If you want more details, we can talk about it later, but this, for the simplicity of the video, I'm going to move to this pretty quickly. So that shows oxidizing, 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 antioxidizing. It's the only water in the planet that has to be ionized to become an antioxidant. Okay. Now, the second property I'm going to talk about is its alkalizing or its alkalizing benefits. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but there's been much research done about having a clean alkaline body where disease cannot live in. So check out some research on that. Most people already understand the power of alkalinity, how critical it is for us to be alkaline. So again, I was paying so much attention to what I was eating, not realizing I was drinking different waters that were acidifying my body, which is crazy to think. So what I have here, and I'm gonna pop up a pH chart somewhere, color chart somewhere on the screen. But what I have here is our pH drops. Anybody who has a pool would know what these are. Anything in the greens to orange or yellow, orange, reds are acidic. Anything in the blues to purples are alkaline. Okay. Again, let's have a look here. So we got Aquafina, which basically represents purified water or filtered waters. These guys actually use reverse osmosis, and then they're remineralized by adding salt, so making you thirsty as you drink. So this is acidifying your body. Carbonated water, extremely acidic. Now, I never really paid attention to this. I used to drink probably 2 liters a day of carbonated water, if not more. And I never realized one thing, but I guess you don't know until you know. We breathe in oxygen. What do we breathe out? Carbon dioxide. What do you think is used to carbonate water? Carbon dioxide. It's a waste product of our body. And here I was slamming this in daily, not realizing the amount of damage I was potentially doing. Okay? So extremely acidic. Now, acidity loves, or disease loves an acidic environment. Absolutely thrives and grows in an acidic environment. Pop, surprise, surprise, is even more acidic because now you got carbonation and sugar. Deadly, deadly combination. And of course, Gatorade or sports enhanced drinks and enhanced water, extremely acidic as well. And then of course, what we have here, beautiful 9.5 pH Kangen water. Extremely alkalizing, gives our body what it needs. And there's a great video by Dr. Barry Ah, where he talks, for the body to be able to repair itself, it needs a hydrated alkaline environment and a surplus of energy. Now, you saw earlier with that negative antioxidant reading, so you got a surplus of energy, and now we get a nice hydrated alkaline environment by drinking this water. So, there you go. So that is the second property of this water. Now, the third property I'm going to share about is it's restructured, or it's a microcluster. Microcluster is not really a scientific term. It's more of a description. And how that works, microclustering, how it was explained to me the first time. Imagine if you grabbed a handful of rocks and you throw that through a chain link fence. Some rocks are going to go through, some are going to hit the fence. Now, if you grabbed a handful of sand and did the same thing, what would happen? All the sand, or most of the sand, would go through. That's how this water acts in our body, and I'm going to share with you right now. Perfect. Okay, what we have here is a tea bag. Now, what do we need to do to water to make tea? Most people will answer, you need to boil the water. The reason I'm aiming over here, my stove is this way, so you boil the water. And first of all, I actually like hot tea, but secondly, you need to give the water energy so it penetrates the tea leaves and extracts the tea. So what we're going to do here is we're going to open this bad boy up, put them in, and we're going to make some tea using, I'll just use what I have handy here, which is the Aquafina. So we're going to pour that in there, and hope you can see this clearly. Okay? Not much is happening. Now, we get the Kangen water. There we go. And what we got? Instant tea. And how that works is the water actually has water. So water molecules in general have clusters of 20 to 25 molecules per cluster. Once the water goes through the ionization process, it actually gets into smaller clusters of 5 and 6, which is why it's able to penetrate the tea right away. Now, in case somebody said the tea bag was already wet, I even cheated a little bit, I added some tea at the bottom there. We're going to go back to the Aquafina and show that not much is happening again, except for the little bit of tea that I inserted in there. And then back to the Kangen water. and we got T again. Okay? And this is critical in our body because the second you start drinking it, it gets absorbed into your body. It doesn't sit in your stomach. I used to force myself to drink water because I had that bloating feeling all the time. And even when you're playing sports, I hated running around with my stomach with water. So I would just take small sips and then spit out. So this water, you can drink, and it gets absorbed. Even not to get too scientific, it even through the cell, there's a thing called the aquaporin, which is a little channel that gets into every cell. Well, guess what? This water fits through that aquaporin because the maximum amount of molecules that fits is clusters of 5 and 6. So square peg, square hole. So that is a quick snapshot of the drinking water. Now, like I told you earlier, the system produces 5 different waters. It produces the Kangen water, it produces beauty water, it produces clean water, it produces strong acidic water, and strong alkaline water. And I'll explain all of these. The beauty water, right here, is 5.5 to 6 pH water, which is perfect for our skin and hair. So all you got to do is put this on. It's perfect. If any of you use toner, well, all toner is 5.5 to 6 pH water with a preservative, so it holds that pH long term. Ours, we don't need a preservative because all we do is just produce more. Now, this water here is also great for cleaning glass, stainless steel, hardwood floors. It replaces all that by using this water. But most importantly, it's good for your skin and hair. Okay? Now, the other water I'm going to talk about that the machine produces is the strong acidic water. Strong acidic water is actually, the scientific term is hypochlorous acid. Now, this water here kills 99.9% of all bacteria, viruses, pathogens, mold, fungus, you name it. It kills it all. Hypochlorous acid is at least 100 times stronger than bleach, but the best part is it's completely non-toxic. So, if you need a antimicrobial or a hand sanitizer, you just spray it like that. This thing here in Japan is actually used to treat MRSA, staph infection, gangrene, diabetic sores, bed sores, you name it, because our body also produces hypochlorous acid. So that's why it's completely non-toxic. Even if you need to, some people have the odd of being waking up with bad breath. You spray this in your mouth, let it sit for about 30 seconds. It kills the breath bacteria. But again, don't want to leave that in there too long. Completely safe, completely non-toxic, stronger than bleach with no negative side effects, which is awesome. So we use this to disinfect our counters, our cutting boards. Again, hand sanitizer. Anytime there's a cut or a wound, we spray this on. People use it also for treatments with acne, eczema, you name it. This is incredible water. This water alone is worth the price of the machine. To have this tool, especially in times where right now there's a shortage of hand sanitizer, well, I'm not worried. I just produce as much as I want for pennies. There you go. So, strong acidic water, amazing, amazing water. Okay? And now the last water here is the strong alkaline water. This one here is 11.5 pH water. Why is this water important? This water here is a degreaser. So this water here can be used to do your laundry, clean your stove, your fan, anything where you would use a degreaser, you use this water. But most importantly, I use it to clean my fruits and vegetables. And why would I do that? I'm just going to move this out of the way here. Get some cups to show you, because pesticides are oil-based. Now, I'm not a farmer. I never thought about that, but they have to be oil-based, because if they weren't, every time it rains or every time the farmer irrigates, it would wash away. So that's why they put oil-based pesticides to stick on. Well, guess what happens when you mix oil and water? Basic science tells us oil and water doesn't mix. So I have some tomatoes over here. I'm going to put some tomatoes here. Try to make it even as much as possible. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the first one here, and I'm just going to use Aquafina, or most people would just use tap water, but since it's open, I use it here. Okay. And use a lot of cups. What we have here is water. Okay, put that there. And to show you what's actually happening to the tomatoes right now, what I have here is, 100% pure sesame oil. Funny enough, it comes from Japan as well. And we're gonna put some here. And again, might as well use up this Aquafina. Basic science tells us oil and water doesn't mix. And here we go with the 11.5. And what happens there? It completely emulsifies the oil. Okay? That's why we use it to clean, because it's an emulsifier. Yeah. Now, we're going to have here, I'm going to need a couple of cups. Let's see how the tomatoes are doing. Let's shake these up a little bit. All right. I hope you can see that actually. Nasty. So what do we have in here that's not in here? It's all the pesticides, herbicides, homicides, suicides, you name it. All the sides are right in here. So that's why it's critical to use this water to clean my fruits and vegetables. And what we do is just fill the sink up and let it soak, not for for a minute or so. We actually let them sit for like 15 minutes. Let it really get in clean. So this is what the machine produces in a quick overview.